Federation University Australia acknowledges the traditional custodians of the lands and waters where our campuses, centres, and field stations are located. We pay our respects to elders past and present and extend our respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander and First Nations peoples.
This is just really going to talk about why study nursing at Federation University. Can you click the next slide, please, Beck? Yep. We are an innovative Bachelor of Nursing program, and we have utilised in our curriculum a backward design curriculum. That is, we ask industry what they think nurses should come out of a degree with, and then we build our curriculum from there. So we've just been accredited last year for a new program, and it's an innovative backward format, like I said. It's a 3-year bachelor level program, and we currently have 2 delivery modes. And they are what we call flexible, which is part online with intensives, and we have a standard face-to-face delivery as well. So we can talk a little bit more about those if people have got questions about them now, but I'll just keep moving. But if you've got a question about the differences in mode, we can talk about that at the end. We have state-of-the-art simulation facilities and equipment, and our labs are very well equipped. And hopefully in time in the future, we will be able to allow potential students to come on and actually look at our facilities, because we have a lot of very state-of-the-art equipment and facilities there that our students learn in as well. We have good opportunities for clinical placement all across regional Victoria and metropolitan Victoria in some very diverse settings, lots of mixture of settings. And generally there's about 800 hours of clinical placement that you do in the program across your 3 years. So where nurses are employed, where are our graduates employed? Look, our graduates are wanted everywhere, and they work in all sectors of the health industry. Anywhere that you see nurses, of course, in hospital settings, in community settings, in occupational settings, I've lost, but they work everywhere, like schools, anywhere else. Beck, Cat, they're everywhere.
Primary health, did you say?
Yeah, primary health. Yep, primary health. Yep, that sector.
Aged care.
Yeah, aged care. It's beyond, anywhere you see nurses. Yep. There's lots of postgraduate opportunities. A lot of nurses go on and do postgraduate stuff in specialty areas. So there's lots of specialty areas that nurses can work in: pediatrics, midwifery, critical care, intensive care, emergency departments, community health, you name it. The list goes on. And our qualifications at bachelor level are recognised overseas, and there are opportunities to actually work all across the world with this qualification as well. For VCE entry, so if you're a Year 12 applicant and you're considering coming to us, you'll be ranked on your ATAR and any ATAR adjustment factors such as special entry access scheme Cs and some subject adjustments. And in our program and on a lot of our campuses, we may have quota restrictions, so you need to please note that as well. You generally require units 1 and 2 satisfactory completion in 2 units in any combination of maths, general mathematics, math methods, specialist maths, or units 3 or 4, any mathematics, and units 3 and 4 and a study score of at least 25 in any English. And we do use ATAR as part of our selection considerations, and you might get subject adjustments if you have study scores of 40 in biology, chemistry, or physics, and that might get you 3 aggregate points per study to a maximum of 5 points onto your ATAR. Next slide, please. If you're not VCE Year 12 and you're thinking about an alternate pathway, because there are other alternate pathways as well. If you don't, for example, a Year 12 or a recent VCE graduate, but you don't meet the prereq that I've just talked about before, there are other things you can do. I can talk about that on the next slide as well. If you're returning to study, you've not participated in significant study for more than 2 years and you're feeling a little bit rusty, you've not completed your secondary school education, but you have other things that you bring with you, like occupational stuff, or you don't meet the English or academic entry requirements if you're an international student, or you might have been born overseas, and English is not your first language. Next one, please, Beck. For example, Fed Uni has Fast Foundation Access Studies program. Some students come in via this pathway. This is a 6-month program which prepares you for study in a degree program at Fed Uni. Successful completion of Fast guarantees you an offer in a place in a degree of your choice. So we have a lot of students that come across from Fast that don't meet some of that VCE entry criteria. They come in through Fast and generally do very well.
It's a fantastic entry point. Yeah,
it is a really good. Yep, lots of our really good students have come from there as well. A lot of our students come through from a TAFE pathway. They might start doing a Cert 3 and move through to Cert 4 diploma, and then move across to us that way as well, and do some industry work also. But TAFE is also a great way to get some of that vocational experience. And Fed College also, if you haven't completed secondary education, you can sometimes do particular pathways to study there in our Federation College. And we have an EAP program, English for Academic Purposes. For an international student, this can often help you get up to the required IELTS level or English language level to get into the program. Thanks, Beck. Our course is delivered using, excuse me, just go over soup. Is delivered using an adult learning principle. So generally it's a little bit different to secondary school in that you're largely autonomous. You are expected to actually pace your own learning. So we use adult learning principles and practice there as well. So we might say a due date is this date. We expect things to be handed in and submitted on those dates as well. There are inherent requirements that you need to have, and I would really encourage you to go and to look at our course requirements online to see what those inherent requirements are. And you also need some minimum IT requirements. So generally you need access to good internet, you need a good computer, you need a good stable internet as well, or bandwidth, so you can actually do a lot of stuff online, because we do a lot of our learning online in what we call Moodle. And flexible and standard delivery modes, like I talked about before. Every student does the same thing in Moodle online. Our standard students will generally do week by week, or they might do block classes of face-to-face delivery. And our flexible students might come in for a week at a time and do residential weeks and do their learning there. But most of the time, everybody's doing a degree of learning online as well. So it's what we call blended. So you do a bit of blended online and face-to-face via things like lectures, tutorials, workshops, seminars, chat groups, whatever. It's highly recommended that you attend all classes, both online and face-to-face, and engage with those online activities. And as a rule of thumb here, there's a requirement that you engage in learning outside of your scheduled classes and for preparation for face-to-face or online courses. So if you're doing a 15 credit point course, which most of ours are, there's a requirement that you do 10 hours for each credit point, so 150 hours of study. So that might be reading, discussions, researching, preparing, submitting assignments, things like that. There are requirements that you need to undertake in preparation for placement as well, and there's also expectations. And just there, I've just put up some of what our courses involve. So you'll see there are 6 semesters in our program. 2, 3, 4. Yeah, there is 6 semesters. Yep. And different subjects. And just go back, please, Beck, if you can, just for first year, because you'll see that in the first semester of the program, you would do all study online, no placement. All study online or face-to-face, but no placement. In second semester, there is 80 hours of clinical placement, usually in an aged care setting. And in second year, you'll see that there is 160 in first semester, and looks like 200 in second semester there as well, depending which way you come in. And in third year, there's 160 hours in the first semester and 240 hours in the second semester as well. So I'm just looking at a couple of questions here. If we've already applied and are completed and have completed something similar to FAST program, how soon can we be given an offer? Do Year 12 applicants get preference? Thank you. Good question. Helen, do you know the answer to that one?
No, I don't. And I would encourage you to contact us. Just either shoot through an email or jump into an 11 o'clock session with our admissions coordinator, Hannah, at 11 o'clock so that she can discuss that to you. I don't have that information, I'm sorry. But Isabel, I might see if I can follow that up for you, but I won't be able to get back to you till Monday. How's that?
The only thing I could say, it would be viewed favourably if you've done some sort of academic preparation. So it would all factor into what else you bring into that application as well. And I see Kat's just answered one about the EN pathway. Yes, it's direct. It's second year is where you'd land with that one with a diploma.
With registration,
Georgia, you've got that question.
You have to be registered as an
Yes,
EN.
you do.
Yep.
Yep. Right. In regards to flexible learning, are expected to participate in face-to-face. They're moving too quickly. Face-to-face learning on site on a weekly basis. Where is that question gone? It's gone up in regards to flexible. Face-to-face learning on site on a weekly basis. In flexible learning, it's not in face-to-face. So flexible online delivery would be if you're flexible, then you'd be doing your on all your learning online for the entire semester, but you do some element of face-to-face, generally clinical labs, in a residential block in a week.
Shall we finish the PowerPoint, Andrew, and then we can go through.
Sorry.
And if anyone's questions aren't answered, then
I didn't think. There's a couple more. Yep. All right. Sorry. I got carried away reading questions. Okay, click forward.
They're much
please.
more interesting than this.
Yes. So they're just some of our rankings there. We're number 1 in Victoria for full-time graduate employment for our undergraduates, and generally our nurses are very well sought after, and we do have a high employment rate with our students as well. Number 1 in Victoria for student support, both undergraduate and postgraduate. Number 1 in Victoria for skills development, undergraduate and postgraduate. Number 1 in Victoria for social equity, and number 1 in Australia for first generation student enrolments. And so we're ranked in the top 200 there as well. Yep. Thank you. Student support, what do we offer? We offer a wide range of student support, and there's some of them are just listed there. Lots of groups. Now, there are lots of clubs and societies as well that are not even listed on there. So I would urge you to look at clubs and societies if you're interested in the student support in terms of there. We have chaplaincy and counselling services. We have the health service on most of our sites. We have disability support and a disability support office as well. We have a student advisory service, financial information and support. We have a specific area of international student support. We have careers and employment. We have an Aboriginal education centre and childcare facilities, and we have an elite health athlete program as well.
Yeah. And I'd really encourage all of our guests today to drop into the Student Chat Lounge and have a chat with the students there, just to get their perspective of studying here at Federation.
We've got a great nursing society that's really active across all 3 campuses as well.
Called Funds.
Funds. Great name.
Thanks, Beck. Scholarships and grants as well. I'm not going to read that slide out, but I would encourage you to actually follow that link there, /scholarships as well. And what next? If you're interested, please check your entry requirements and see whether they fit you as well. You can apply online through VTAC and direct applications. And I suspect we are now taking direct applications from today, Helen. That's normally what we do. Yep.
Direct applications are now open. So if anybody's interested in applying and they are not currently in Year 12, they can lodge the direct application just on our website. However, if you are applying to a number of different institutions, you are required to apply through VTAC. But all year 12s, of course, should apply through VTAC. Make sure you put in an application. Make sure you fill in your C's application in VTAC as well. Once you've put your VTAC application in, please jump onto our website and submit an early offer application as well, so that we can potentially give you that peace of mind of knowing that you've secured a place at Federation, and send you out a conditional offer so that you can go into your exams and finish the year or finish your secondary schooling really well without that concern about being assured of a place at Federation University.